is the Mighty Max episode where they're in I think it's Ireland, and there's like the Celtic cult, and they're like raising a clockwork monster, and it's gonna, I'm assuming, destroy the Earth and bring them to the top of the cream.
Are the leprechauns?
No, there are no leprechauns.
The fairy folk?
No, there is a Shaquille O'Neal reference though.
Oh, okay.
Because the girl has to do something with this crystal, and then she I'm going to do it like that famous Irish basketball player Shaquille O'Neal. It's very funny.
Did they ever do like a thing where like talk of the difference between Celtic and Celtic, or
that's not what Mighty Max was going to accomplish in an episode.
Fair enough.
Sounders and Thunders.
Hello everyone out there listening.
All right. FC Dallas.
FC Dallas is not a team that we sleep on.
No. Down there, Dallas playing right in the middle of Daily Plaza. Mm-hmm. Ride, Johnny, ride.
Mm-hmm.
Today's game is at 7 p.m. local time, so it's slightly less blistering as hot. I'm going to try to keep this under 90 degrees, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
They were told that they couldn't play while the sun was in the heat of the day, just like high school football teams from back home.
You do not want to be in Texas in the middle of the summer when the sun is beating down. You also don't want to be drilling into acetylene lines, but that's a different story for a different time.
The stars are not the only thing that's bright in Texas.
Yes.
The sun. So our injuries and absences. Morris is doing better with his hamstring injury, but not well enough to come back to the game.
He is up to his tonsils and strawberry ice cream.
He is. He is going to relax some more. Probably, I'd say maybe next week or so. We could probably see him.
Yeah, I wonder. I started watching the X-Files again, and I wonder if he's doing that too. We can talk about Krychek together on the internet. I'm assuming.
Yes.
That's what Twitter's for, right? So we're talking to soccer people about the X-Files.
It is. Keehee, I think, is still out with his injury, and it's a pretty fresh injury. It just happened last weekend. The Swede and Rodriguez both were seen at practice at full training, full practice. So we may see them this weekend, or they may get one more game to rest up before we get them back.
And I made a note of the ghost of Steve McQueen.
He's probably going to be there.
Yeah, he'll be at the game, but I don't think he'll be playing.
Mm-mm. But here's the other big absence we have for this game. First time, I think, in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Ladero.
Yeah.
He is out because of accumulated yellow cards, which I didn't know.
Not starting, not middling, not finishing.
Mm-mm. That's interesting.
This is an opportunity that I think we want, we need, and we definitely need to take advantage of.
That would be the pros of like getting someone else in there. Being able to see how they mesh together without Ladero. Especially, when Ladero does Ladero things like watches his feet or tries to pass the ball to someone right in front of him or gets sleepy or tired. And
this is also a good way to, if you have like a person in your office or school or whatever it is you do with your time, and they watch soccer and they have a different team, this is the time to go ahead and put it on the score sheet and on the TV that we can play without Nicholas Ladero, because you do not want to be LAFC. You do not want to be
Atlanta.
Toronto with Giovinco. You do not want to be these teams where it's just like, well, yeah, you're doing fantastic and you're setting a bunch of records, but with like one hitch in your plan, you're nothing. And you don't want to be that. And
no.
We spent a lot of time scouting these players. We've been building players. We've been putting in effort.
Also, the cons, however, would be that
not you. You on the couch. You're good.
No, you can't. You calm
fine.
down.
Don't worry about it.
Would be that I'm trying to think of the cons. Honestly, I feel like the pros outweigh the cons for him being out.
I mean, he is like I'm imagining some level of like spiritual center of things.
He's like a good leader. He's a good natural leader.
Yeah, and I mean for what pisses me off about him, he will pull some shit out of his ass that is a very, very polished turd. Very polished.
I think the cons is missing that natural leader and stuff like will also work into pros. When he comes back, he's going to want to prove himself for being absent. Which
I hope doesn't turn into him running at every of our guy when they had the ball to be like, give it to me a yard away from you.
Right. Because you don't want that either.
This is a good opportunity. I'm excited about this. I'm very excited because with that, I believe we also have Jovan Jones available.
That's right. He did. He came back,
I believe. And so with Ladero out, with a new defender in, and then a new old defender back in, what does this say about our lineup? So I have, who are the D-wing commanders? Who are, because we are going to have two fast dudes on defense, potentially, and we have a lot to choose from. So what do we do with that? And when we talk about Leardom, I have him on the notes later on. So we'll deal with him when we get to him. But as far as like, we can stock two speed demons.
Mm-hmm. I think that, Rodan could be put up there in his place.
No, I mean, sorry, the defensive.
Oh, defensive. Oh, defensive.
So our defensive wings, our fast guys who we have, that we have, at least as far as the last 4 or 5 years traditionally.
I mean, we got Smith, we got Nuhu, we got Jones back. All
back.
3 of them boys are fast, like super fast. And
absolutely, man.
I mean, Leardom's not that slow.
No, either. He's not. It's one of those things where you never think about him having any speed, but only because he's sitting in a line with a bunch of speed demons.
And he's really picking up his game too as the season progresses.
I tell you, we can move into him because actually, no, we got this next thing. So the other thing we got going on with Ladero being out is we have that hole in the middle. And I was thinking about who can move to the center. And then I also got some other ideas. But right now I was thinking we'll go with Leardom first on the suggestion list because we were just mentioning him. And I think Leardom's got the feet. He's Dutch as all shit.
Absolutely.
So he's got the feet. He's got the look up, all that stuff. And I think if you challenge him, I think he can rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
But he's not my main choice to go into the center if Ladero's gone.
Would it be Rodan?
Roll fucking Dan.
Yeah.
Because this man, Monster Zero, he can do all the things that you would want from Ladero. Like if you specifically were like, I want a guy who's going to run around a lot and get into the shit with everyone all the time.
Yeah.
Rodan's good.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's been paying attention to the last couple of games that we had, he has done some phenomenal shit. Also, if you're listening to us, national team coach, that motherfucker needs to be on our team. You need to stop cussing, Mark. We're live. And that
I have a problem.
If you have not watched the games, I mean, I can remember that. I forgot who we were playing, but when he did the juke left, juke right, and then get around the guy to get the ball, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's had really good tutelage. He's, all the shit that you'd want.
And I liked what you said last time, is that it's fun to watch someone try to muscle him and not realize that he is going to outmuscle you.
Yeah.
And because I think people don't take him seriously sometimes. They underestimate his ability on the ball and his strength, and he makes them look like idiots. And
sometimes it's almost like a kind of a sucker bet because you'll see the ball is seemingly farther away from him than it should be. So it's like, oh, I'm getting at this damn ball. He made a bad touch. I'm getting there, and it's like, no, he's going to get there too. And I think he can piece that together with his heads up play, his attacking, and all that shit. And if we need to just straight up replace Ladero with a person, I think that's your man.
It's exciting. It's exciting to see him playing it better and better as the seasons go on. How do you feel about Ship going in there too?
I always enjoy Ship being anywhere.
Yeah.
And I would totally put him in there. But I would, if it's me, I want Ship in a place where he can supplement. Because I think that if you told him, go be in the center and take care of business, he would go into the center and take care of business. I think, above all, he would do the thing you asked of him. What I always envision is some kind of weird thing where you have Ship and somebody else in the middle in like a 4-4-2. So you have him being able to kind of just like see what's going on and be what needs to be beed.
Yeah.
Beamed.
Right. And with the,
Fway.
Right, and going back a little bit to our defense, that new guy, I cannot pronounce. I do not want to butcher his name.
I don't remember what it is offhand, but what I have for him is if we go under the premise of moving Rodan to the middle, I want to move him into the defensive midfield position because I want to get him as into the shit as possible.
Yeah.
Because not only is he good, has stuff to prove, blah, 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 that man is out there talking.
He is.
And he is wanting to control the field. And fuck it, if you put him there and we go like full Chinese fire drill, like we've been doing some of the games where we're just everywhere, everyone's just bouncing around, just making sure they cover and get up and back and all that other stuff. Yeah, I'm totally into putting him into a spot where he can make runs at the goal and he can do whatever the hell he wants and he can get that nice red shiny fire truck for Christmas.
It should be interesting to see what happens with our back line with Jones coming back and the possibility of Key not knowing how long Kehe's injury is. We also have, Marshall's gone. And that's a big space to fill. That's a big shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
And then we may lose Smith because he may have to go back to England. I don't think anyone knows what's going to go on with that yet, but his loan is almost over. And we don't know if he got called up to his national team.
He's not even mentioning his student loans. He might get his loans broken.
He got caught up for the national team. He
came to the wrong country to have student debt in.
Yeah, he sure did.
You done fucked up, boy.
Our back line is going to be very interesting to see what happens with it because, we're shifting players. We've lost one retirement, one's injury, and one maybe having to go back. So,
and
good time to be a new kid on the team in the back line because you may have a good spot.
It's good time to be in the dry erase marker business because there's going to be a lot of different shit written on boards over and over and over again because
I can just imagine coach out there just viciously trying to figure out what to do and it's just like the whiteboard.
And you're going to have to be like, okay, listen, here's the conditions. Lost Smith, this guy's hurt. We're going to this place to play this way. Fucking board number 7.
Before we move on to talk about our opponents today, I want to add in since we're talking about people being moved and this around, Gold Cup, international duty, Gold Cup, and whatever else is getting to start happening soon. We have 12 players up to go to their national teams.
Jesus Christ,
that's like half our guys. Everyone's getting called up. And I've noticed that it seems like any player that's got to play with the Sounders gets called up to their team. I don't know.
And now losing Delem to Martinique is the thing.
Yeah.
And that's like okay, this is a work. Because before you had to be like, well, he doesn't really play all that often, and we haven't really counted on him, and I didn't really pay attention to what kind of touches he had in the last game. Maybe he's a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But since he's been out there doing his fucking thing and making a good show of it, now it's like, oh, well, we can find someone to speak French to you if you want. I think New speaks French.
Yeah. Smith.
Don't French it out.
Smith got called up to Australia.
Yeah.
Ladero got called up to Uruguay. Even Morris and Rodin have got called up possibly. And everyone else, everyone on half our team has got called up. So if they all get called up and the tournament goes well for our national team and the other national teams.
What about the under teams, the under national teams, like the U23, U21, all that stuff? Like, do we have people going up for that? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't know if that 15-year-old that we signed. I don't know if he's.
I'd also pull Buana for that.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of people. I don't know who Buana counts for, but whoever he counts for, if you're America, you better start pulling some strings, and if you're wherever country he came from, you better start making some fucking apologies.
Well, because there's
you better get one of the really funny cards with like Kathy on it where she hates Mondays or something.
Well, there was that other guy that played for our national. I can't remember who it was, but he either had a choice to play with us and play for his father's country, which was like an Eastern European team, and he had to pick which one, or we had to play him so he'd be considered our team. They don't do it where you had to be from that country anymore. Like they did in the old days,
and with if it's like you just moved here, you were like if your parents are immigrants, I get why you do some stuff like that, and if it lets a larger amount of people that are good get onto national teams and raises that competition, makes those games more interesting to watch. I mean, it makes soccer a new level of bibbity bobbity boo. I don't give a shit about that. If it makes the game more fun to watch, then I am down for that shit. So you go ahead and
yeah, I'm actually trying to look up what all everyone is getting called up for national is, because it's pretty man, that's a lot of us. That's pretty much. Oh yeah, wow, that is pretty much our team. Look at this.
Got any surprises? So we got Oh, Arriaga.
Yeah, Arriaga.
That's the new guy.
He's the new guy. He's already getting called back to his national team.
Oh, I don't. That was.
Yeah.
I don't think they. If the deal was like he can't put on the national team, that'd have been like, I wouldn't go to the airport for the next 5 days if I was you. So Arriaga, Rui Diaz, Torres, Roldan, Morris, Ladero, Svensson, Smith, Delem, Jones, Nuhu. Jesus Christ.
That's our whole team right there, practically.
Though, honestly, like now that I look down, because the next thing on this post you pulled up is this guy's ideas about what he would do. I don't agree with him calling them a shitty lineup. He can get hit by a car for that one, but I have no problems with Bruin on the field, Buono on the field, Rodriguez on the field, Ship on the field. Ship and Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
Maybe they're a buddy cop movie waiting to happen, and we just never had the damn chance to say anything about it.
And if these guys teams do well in their whatever tournaments they're in, they could miss 2-3 games, 5 games at most. It just depends on how far. I mean, what depends on what happens.
They may never come back. This may be a lie.
Yeah, they may be trying to get us.
They're up at a farm upstate with all your childhood pets. That's not true. I am too damn old to believe that lie again. I'm running out of grandma. Actually, I'm fresh out of grandma's, I believe.
It makes me wonder. Does our team have the most people getting called up?
Ooh,
in the MLS
personas.
Because I wonder that, and it's exciting for them. I'm very happy for everyone getting called up because I'm sure that's a big thing for people. They get to play in their national
How many
team.
people have to not be eligible before they call upon us? That's the key. Because I've gone out after work a whole bunch of times and ran around on the turf field. But I tell you what, unless you're gonna have instead of a TV timeout, like Mark's gonna go throw up and lay on the ground for a little bit, timeout, then no dice. Anyway,
yeah.
Speaking of throwing up, FC Dallas, that's mean. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. These are the people I respect. So, FC Dallas is struggling in the standings, but that is not a good yardstick.
Absolutely
to measure these guys by. They are a competent team, and I am worried, and I think we all should be.
You should always be worried when you play against FC Dallas.
Yeah, they are competent.
Yeah, they are a team that if you turn your backs to them, close your eyes, daydream, play in the sand like if you were playing baseball, they're going to be in your box, and they're going to be scoring goals. We have had a lot of heartbreak against FC Dallas. They've definitely broken our hearts on more than one occasion. They're a fast team. They're aggressive. The only time that we've absolutely dominated them is when their coach thought it would be cute to just bring up the B team against our A team, and that did not work out well for us.
Oh, that's right. That was one of those you're setting up to have an excuse. Fantastic. Yes. I looked on the boards and shit and all that stuff, and it looks like they might be missing Ziegler, who is he's up on their stats. He's a honky, and that's all I know about him.
Oh. The guys I looked up, and I'm sorry, I know I should have their names.
By the way, don't forget, I have a giant crazy thing to say about Barrios. So I call him. I
can't remember. I know their names, but I don't want to butcher their names because I just don't. But they seem to not be doing a lot of goal scoring this season. A lot of assists and a few goals.
It seemed pretty spread out.
Yeah, it's very spread out.
Which I can't throw a stone at that glass house.
Apparently the yellow card
the glass house, whatever.
Feel a pretty good amount of yellow cards as well.
Oh, that's rough. So my point is, and this is going to be, as you've already heard, like a running thing on this episode, is that do not sleep, and do not sleep on Barrios. Even if Barrios invites you over to a sleepover and you eat a bunch of nachos or sloppy joes, maybe you sneak some sips out of the liquor cabinet, then you watch the first 2 Hellraisers, and then you play Battletoads until the sun comes up. Just wait for your parents to come pick you up. Do not sleep on Barrios. He may seem even to you like a cute, cuddly teddy bear you want to snuggle up to on a rocking chair in an afternoon sun ray, but do not sleep on Barrios. If you have sleep apnea and you go to the doctor to do a sleep study, if the doctor is Barrios, do not sleep on Barrios. He is a feisty son of a bitch. That is the Barrios bit for all of you comedy people at home.
No sleeping on Jesus. The sermons are going to be long, and the basket's coming around, and you're starting to nod off. No sleeping on Jesus either.
And the keeper is no slouch.
Is it still that young kid that they've had for a few? Oh, yeah. That kid's no joke either.
He's no slouch. I was especially happy. I was watching the highlights, and my new least favorite player in the world, well, it might not be true. I don't know. It's tough. Ovela was trying to do cheeky stuff on the PK, and then the guy blocked it. Granted, they gave him another one. But I love anytime someone tries to do like a little light chip, or they try to like stutter step, or they do anything besides just run up and kick the fucking ball. I like when it doesn't go right, and I think that they should stop the game, and that everyone should just watch the highlight over and over again to be like, look at you, you dumb shit. You thought you were smart. It turns out you fucked up.
In conclusion, this is the time to play without a superstar and to show that we are not like LA Football Club. We are not like Atlanta. We are not like Toronto. That we can be a whole team without that one player. And if we don't have that one player, so fucking what? We can still play.
Yeah.
We can still win. We can still do what we need to do to get a result that we need.
Here's what I want. I want to start strong. I want to do the thing where we try to run over them in the first 15 minutes. I think that's a great thing.
Blitzkrieg them.
Yeah, totally. Then I want to settle into control. I want to actually utilize the fucking swinging the ball through the defense to the other side. I want to use that stuff. I want to use the give and goes and the overlaps. I want people to stray out of position, being covered, and then come back and all sorts of dumb bullshit like that. And then I want us to then start exploiting their weaknesses. Let them show us where they're weak that day. And then we will just go to that. And I would love to see some Chinese fire drill going on. I would love to take a look at that field and not have any understanding of who's playing what position. I love that shit.
Because the times that we've done it, you can see the confusion on the other team's face. They're like, what is this guy doing right here? I thought he's back here.
And it opens up all sorts of fun.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun.
Yeah. And I'd rather not have to see our coach putting Band-Aid on his knuckles from absolutely punching the lockers after the last game.
I kind of want to see that guy really mad just to see what happens. I picture it being like, at the end of The Golden Child, where Sodom Numspa finally becomes the demon thing that he is and chases Eddie Murphy throughout.
I definitely like to think that he did it he was doing it in a way that he didn't use a curse word when he punched, but he is one of those curse words that's not a curse word, like dagnabbit and like, you know.
Or maybe he walks over to the fucking locker and he's just doing like the Bruce Lee like 1-inch punching where he's just kind of like lining it up. He's touching his fingertips to the locker and he's just walking away. And he's like, and he touches it again. And he says something else. And finally he just 1-inch punches the locker like right in. And then he just walks out and someone's like, Coach, your knuckles, no, you're good. Just, I want to see it. What I want to not see is any of that shit from last week.
No.
None of that shit from last week.
None of that shit from last week.
Terrible touches, terrible passes, terrible movements. Goddamn terrible everything except for like 2 runs by Leardom. And even he was fucking stuff
No, none of that shit from last week. We could do without that whatsoever. Playing that sloppy, just don't do it anymore. I mean, yes, you got to have bad games, but that was the one for the season, man. That was... And we're the ones that usually, are pretty, we can see all the good out, even after like what everyone says is a bad performance, we can see all the good out of it. That last game was nothing. We couldn't salvage any of that shit.
Yeah, I can be the perspective only a mother could love.
Yeah.
But man, you made it really tough. And here's my last thing, and this is an if-then statement. So plug it into your little robot brains and remember that. If there's a man within a yard of our 18, mark him. If you're not doing something that has purpose, like being on the ball or in a lane or on the post or whatever, then you better be marking up. This is at least a symptom of a lot of like the fucking MLS goals that I see is that people just don't mark up in the box. And like, while the MLS is not close to being a top league, we are definitely good enough to where we have to fucking acknowledge that the other team at least showed up to the game.
Yes.
So mark up in the box. Yes. In our attacking third, you're taking stabs at shit. You are shepherding people. In the middle third, it's a little tighter, but you're still shepherding. You're still cutting off lanes. You're trying to make sure people don't make large runs. You're trying to make sure that you don't get caught with your pants down. In the defensive third, It's time to start giving a shit. I pointing is fine. I point all the time. I'm a rude son of a bitch, but pointing is not a goddamn enough. You're gonna have to actually cover the guy or make sure someone's covering them. Sometimes it's triage.
Yeah.
Some of us aren't gonna make it home. Okay, this is a tough war and it's going on too long.
Yep.
So you got to cover up in the box. And other than that, great opportunity, like you said.
Yep.
It's a good opportunity to show ourselves, because I'm going to be out there running and then throwing up.
Yes.
And then bleeding out of my eyes.
My teeth will feel like they're bleeding.
Yeah.
If I tried to run,
it's going to be really bad. I'm going to have to pee like 4 times during the game, by the way. So we have to stop for that.
It is definitely it feels like your teeth are just going to walk out of your mouth. Like, I'm done with being in your mouth. Yeah. I'm just going to bleed and walk away. You got any speculation on what the lineup may be, since we are a little bit early on what the lineup is?
I want
definitely probably DS up front.
I think my only big things are Roldan in the middle.
Yeah.
Arriaga? Is that what we said his name was? Arriaga, the new guy.
Yeah, the new guy.
The greenhorn.
Yeah.
I mean that experience with the team-wise, not racially or anything like that.
I see Diaz up front, and then if Rodriguez is still out, Ship, and then Roldan would be cool to be in the middle.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's your best bet on that.
Leardom on the other side, since Morris is still out.
I didn't even think about Morris still being out. Yeah. I would totally take Leardom as a I think if you can put 2 people that are good on the ball on the outside midfielders.
Yeah. And then you got
why the hell not just do the speed demons at the back.
And then you got Roldan. Oh no! If you put Roldan in the middle there, hold on. I got to think.
That's what I'm saying. You move Arriaga to that defensive midfielder with Delem.
Delem, that frees at the back for
whoever the hell we have.
Torres, Smith, Nuhu, and Jones.
Yeah.
Keys out.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I'd like to see that. And you still got some good subs on the bench. You got Bawana, you got Bruin, you got the young kid if he's on the bench today.
It's all there.
Yeah.
This is the time.
Yeah.
This is the time when you approach the 2 giant things that are going to judge you, and then you fail the test, but you just roll on through that shit, and then you finish the never-ending story.
Yeah.
This is the time to not let purity of heart, not let all that crap, not let people believing in you or believing things exist.
This is the time that you stand in front of the childlike empress.
Yeah.
And she tells you that you need to think of a name. And then you scream out the window the name.
This is not the time when you find out that what he's screaming is Moonchild. This is not that time when you're just like, I don't know how to react to that.
I don't either.
No.
I wish I did, but I do not.
No. There's no way to react because you're like, yeah, that's fanciful.
Yeah.
Totally. Like that's a never-ending story. I almost called it Anastasia. Type of name for a thing. But man.
And some of you may be wondering what happened to Mr. Monkey, but he had to take a vacation. We have Anubis with us today.
Mr. Monkey accrued a lot of PTO.
Yeah. He went to go visit his cousin, who is very mischievous.
I think Joe Camel is the only thing that's in focus in this shot.
Oh. Well, yeah, Anubis is with us today on the table. He has a lot of stories to tell us about the underworld and bombing and all this other fun stuff. But he also likes soccer, and he enjoys watching it. And he happened to tell us that he's a Sounders fan.
And if he didn't like it, he dead as shit, so he'll do whatever we tell him to.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm going to wrap him up with some, tobacco leaves and some, stones and little carvings and shit, and we'll kind of pile up all his crap like it was a fucking storage space. You ever seen how they actually stack all that shit in the pyramids in those tombs?
It's like
a fucking storage space. It's like they were like, just put all his shit in the fucking storage space, close this motherfucker down, and we're gonna go drink this alcoholic mud and then convince ourselves that building a giant fucking elaborate triangle is a good idea.
Oh, it'll work out in the end.
Yeah.
But we'll be back after the game.
Wage slaves are still slaves.
Yeah. We'll be back after the game. Hopefully, it will be an exciting, heart-pounding game that will not be like last game whatsoever.
I have a mantra for us. I watched Be Kind Rewind
Okay.
while I was going to sleep last night.
Yeah.
And our new mantra is, "Come on, balls." That's it. Like when we're down on our luck and we're starting to cry about shit, just come on, balls.
I like
do it.
I like it.
Come on, balls.
Until then, go Sounders. Have fun watching the game wherever you're at. If you got to make it to the game, wear a lot of sunblock, please.
A
lot of sunblock.
David, what is that? Do you feel something?
What's that? Oh no! Oh no! It's oh stop!
Oh no! Oh, it's still going. Fuck it.